Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you all are very fine. In the last class, I have discussed about the inertia and the Newton's first law. Today, I will tell you relation between inertia and the mass. What is inertia? Inertia was the tendency of a body to oppose or resist any change in its state. That means if I suppose an object is at rest, if you want to change its state, that means if you want to make the stationary object move, or if you want a moving object stationary, then there is a property of the matter which try to oppose it, or tendency to oppose. This is called the inertia. Acha, now consider there are two tables. One is two tables are two stone. One is small stone. This is small stone, and there is a big stone. Big stone. Okay. Okay. And you want to displace these two tones. This is stone A. This is stone B. B is greater than A. That means A less than B. That means B is heavier or larger than A. So now tell which is more difficult to push or pull. You will say that B. It is difficult to push or pull or to move the heavier one, right? That means what can we say? That means we can say inertia of big stone is greater. Inertia is what? Inertia is just nothing but the property to oppose or to resist any change in its state. Initially both are at rest. Okay, you want to displace these two stones. Okay, suppose you are pushing or you are applying some force. Okay, you are applying some force. Okay, F1, F2. So which will be difficult to push, or which will be difficult for you to push heavier one, to push lighter one? Obviously heavier one. That means why? That means in this case the resistive force is also greater. That means it tries to remain the state it tries to remain in the same state. It also tries to remain in the same state, but here we have to apply the more force. That means here the opposite force is greater. Okay, that means there is a more, their tendency is more. That's how we can say the inertia is high, but here the inertia is low than it. That means we can say inertia depends upon the mass. And what is the way of dependence? If mass is greater, then inertia is greater. See now, if mass is greater, then we have to apply more force. That means it is difficult to push than this. That means there it has the more tendency to remain in the same state. That means here inertia is greater than it. That means we can say heavier object has more inertia than the lighter object. That means we can say the inertia, the relation between inertia and mass is direct relation. That means inertia directly depends upon the mass. That means if mass is high, then the inertia is high. If mass is low, then inertia is low. Okay. Okay. Now we have to know about the momentum. Acha, I'm showing inertia directly proportional to mass. That means if mass is greater, direct relation. Mass is greater, inertia is greater. If mass is low, inertia is low. Now next, momentum. What is momentum? First listen the definition carefully. The quantity of motion possessed by a moving body is known as momentum of the body. See this, the quantity of motion possessed by a moving body is known as momentum. The quantity of motion, this line is very important. Quantity of motion possessed by a moving body is called the momentum. Now mathematically we will represent the momentum. That means now we will discuss the momentum depends upon the which factors. Acha, suppose you have two objects, one is small a and another is heavy object. Heavy, this is small, that means lighter, and this is big, that means heavy. Small or light, light means halka. Small object a and heavy object b, that means okay, m a, that means mass of b greater than mass of a. Okay, acha, suppose both are at motion, that means these two objects are at motion. Okay. The quantity of motion possessed by a moving body, that means the body should be moving. Okay, acha, moving body means only the moving body has have the momentum, only the moving bodies have the momentum. If any object is at rest, then the object doesn't have any momentum, remember it. So that's why the quantity of motion possessed by moving body, that means the bodies are at motion. Okay, so suppose we have considered two objects, a, object b. Object A is lighter object, object B is the heavier object, both are at motion. Now you say, in which case you have to apply more force to stop the object? Just think and say, you want to stop these two objects, so tell in which case you need more force. Suppose here force record F1, here F2. In which case you need more force to stop the moving objects, for the heavier one or for the lighter one? Obviously you will say for the heavier one, that means F2 greater than F1. That means we need more force to stop the heavier object than the lighter object. We need more force to stop the heavier object than the lighter object. That means force required in this case and for the heavier object is greater. That means we can say for the heavier object quantity of motion is greater than the lighter object. Clear? Again I am telling, that means the heavier ball has the more quantity of motion than the lighter ball. Heavier ball has the more quantity of motion than the lighter ball. That means we can say momentum of a body. Acha, quantity of motion is called the momentum possessed by moving body. Here these bodies are moving. So in this case quantity of motion is greater. Okay, so that means we can say the momentum is directly proportional to the mass. Heavier object means what? The mass is greater. Heavier object means the mass is greater. So that means we can say momentum of heavier object is greater. That means we can say momentum is directly proportional to the mass. Achha, momentum, we denote momentum by P. That means P is directly proportional to mass. Clear? P is directly proportional to mass. Clear? Why P is directly proportional to mass? Because heavier object has more quantity of motion. More quantity of motion means more momentum. Okay, it has more quantity of motion. That's why we need more force, na? Why we need more force to stop the heavier object? Because it has more quantity of motion. Clear? Acha, another example. Now you consider again two balls, ball A, ball B. But in this case both balls have same mass. In this case same mass, okay. But here this is V1 and this is V2, and we consider V1 greater than V2. That means we consider two objects having same mass. But one is moving with heavier speed or more speed. One is moving with more speed than the other one. Okay. Acha. So now you say in which case you need more force to stop the object. This is moving with high velocity than it. That means it is moving with high velocity than this object. So in which case we need more force. Suppose just consider in a cricket games, one ball is coming to very slowly and one ball is coming to very fast. So in which case you will be injured more. In a heavier, when the ball will come with heavy speed or more speed, very high speed. That means, and also we can say we need more force to stop the heavier ball. sorry, not heavier, high speed, here masses are same. So that means we need more force to stop the high speed ball. Okay, that means in this case for the ball which has high velocity has more quantity of motion, velocity high, quantity of motion high, more. Velocity high, quantity of motion more. Velocity low, quantity of motion low. That means we can say again momentum is directly proportional to the velocity also. It has more velocity, we need more force to stop it. That means we can say here the quantity of motion is greater, quantity of motion is high than it. That's why we need more force to stop it. So that means we can say momentum is directly proportional to mass from this example we can say, and from this example we can say momentum is directly proportional to here if force is F1, here force is F2, then we can say F1 greater than F2. So momentum proportional to m, momentum proportional to velocity. That means P is equals to mb. Here I have considered constant as 1. Okay, constant as 1. Then we will get P is equals to mb. This is the relation of momentum. Acha, understand why I have written P directly proportional to m, because V, and here you have seen heavier object have more quantity of motion. That means direct relation, heavier object more quantity of motion, lower object less quantity of motion, lighter object less quantity of motion. That means momentum directly proportional to mass. Here high velocity more quantity of motion, more momentum, high more, low velocity low momentum. That's why direct relation, high low. So this is the momentum. Understand? Okay. Now I will start Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law. First law I have discussed, Newton's second law. Before starting Newton's second law, you have to know about the unit of momentum. What is the unit of momentum? First I am writing SI unit. Okay, first I am writing SI unit. Momentum is equals to mass into velocity. So unit of momentum is equals to unit of mass into unit of velocity. So what is the unit of mass? SI unit kg. Velocity meter per second. So unit of momentum is kg meter per second. And CGS unit of mass gram. CGS unit of velocity centimeter per second. So CGS unit of momentum gram centimeter per second. Kg meter per second, gram centimeter per second. Okay.